Alright, people, this is Dumb Motherfucker Theater, Chapter 2, and we're gonna be talking about another single coil classic, the Viper 3. Now, I actually knew and came to love this guitar before I even heard about Scott Grove and his channel. Of course, when I saw his channel, it inspired me to love it even more. Now, this guitar might be one of the only production guitars that comes pretty close to the Dr. Groovy requirements. For example, one switch, 3 pickups, one on-off switch for each pickup. No 5-way switch that doesn't let you do these two. None of that stupid shit. It's got a great neck and a maple fretboard, which does with clear coat, which does not pick up the it does not pick up dirt the way rosewood fretboard is. We've been through all this shit. It's a phenomenal neck. The single coil pickups are brilliant. The bridge is very stable and has smooth saddles. They're not quite roller saddles, but they're certainly not knife edges. They give the string a nice thing to gently roll over. They're not like Tune-O-Matic bridge or any of that shit. It's a very interesting bridge here, really. Now, it does have a six on the side neck that shoots the strings off in every direction. It does have a neck angle too. A gentle, albeit a gentle one, but I'm hoping with a solid maple neck, it's less likely to bust off like a mahogany one with the Gibsons. More on that subject to follow later on Dumb Motherfucker Theater. Now, why is this guitar even on Dumb Motherfucker Theater? Well, there's a very good answer to that. It's because of aftermarket pickup installments. This time it's not my fault. Okay, here's what happened. Somebody, apparently a long time ago, thought it would be swell and dandy to install a DiMarzio Super Distortion in the bridge position. This, of course, entailed routing out the pick guard. And, well, they had to have it all, so they put in a coil split, not a coil tap. And I think they just didn't get what this guitar was all about, because they wanted to have some kind of fat, mad distortion or some kind of humbucker sound, and they picked the wrong guitar, really. I mean, because this guitar is brilliant, and you can get some great rhythm sounds. I mean, okay, with Scott Grove and the country picking well, I obviously get a lot of snap and quack and whatever, because it's kind of like a Fender but setup, but it gives you more control. You can have 3 pickups on it once. You can have this one and that one for like a Telecaster sound. Now here's I personally would like to use it for more of a David Byrne type ultra thin funk sound. Like if you got the neck pickup on, it's not quite as tinny sounding. Like still has a little bit of bass left in it, but if you put on like the two neck and middle in combination, like you get a really now that is funky as hell, and a great backing for kind of a James Brown type thing where you got a we're talking head side thing where you got a razor thin clean guitar sound and a fat bass line and keyboards to flesh it all out, where the guitar is in a supporting rhythmic roll. And if you put on just the middle pickup, it's almost like a really like acoustic. So this guitar, somebody it's installed had to have their DiMarzio pickup. I absolutely fucked the resale value of it, so I could get it on eBay for $250 US with an original case. Needless to say, they threw away the original pickup, so fuck them. Now here, I'm gonna get into how stupid this was, what they did, because I'm sure they wanted some kind of fat 70s, classic rock, hard rock, I don't know, ultra fat sound. Now, here's the humbucker by itself in the 2-coil position. Listen to how fat that sounds. So, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference now, does it? And, I think this guitar was just not right for dropping one of these pickups in, because I'm sure, well, I don't have the effects on for it. I mean, if you had an overdrive or you're playing it through a Marshall, I don't know. But I will tell you this. The routing they did moved the pole pieces here closer to the bridge, which means, well, ever heard of an ice pick like Leon Trotsky got that made his ears burn? Well, when you pull the pole pieces back here, when I first got this guitar and ran it through my twin reverb at full volume, oh my god, was it hurting. Especially if you have the coil switch so it's this one only. Now, to me, this kind of really biting sound that's good for me. I mean, you can throw it on with a neck pickup in combination, you know, like, you can get some great sounds. But I'm sure that's not what the guy wanted. And, the coil split makes things sound extra stupid. I'm sure that the coil split took away from the humbucker power. So it doesn't sound fat and mid-range anymore, because, like Dr. Groovy always said, when you add circuitry to a humbucker, it's not going to sound the same. It's going to sound like a humbucker and a single coil, something in between, which is actually not so bad for my thin and jangly purposes. But I'm sure it's not what the guy wanted, and these vintage guitars, I mean, these Ovations are the only made in America of blah 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 vintage guitars that I'm interested in collecting, and I got this one real cheap because he fucked the collector's value of it. Good job. Some of these can cost nearly $1,000 now. They're getting fewer and fewer, and I think Scott Grove dramatically boosted the popularity of them because they used to be easier to, well, I don't know. So let's get back quickly to the benefits of this guitar. Neck is phenomenal. 24 fret neck, but the pole pieces up here put it in the correct position to sound like a Strat. Now, this is something Scott Grove talks about a lot. I think it's very interesting how pickup positioning is not arbitrary. When you move the neck pickup back more like most 24 fret guitars have, then you take a little bit away from the sound, but, you know, most people, the distortion covers it up, whatever. But this guitar is not like that, and I think they designed it in like 1978, 1977. The original Ovation solid bodies were phenomenal, especially this one. Now, when you put the two on, the humbucker split, it still sounds pretty good, you know? I'm not a real guitarist like Scott Grove. I just appreciate his stuff, and I like a good clean sound. Good single coil clean sound. Now, a more important topic. So we're getting done with the dumb motherfucker thing. This is somebody else's work. I would never try to install a humbucker in a guitar like this. In fact, I'm always taking double humbucker guitars that I just think are cool and look cool, blah, 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 and trying to put P90s in, and I got a whole tale of woe and suffering to show you because of that. So let's get down to it. I said before that this might be the only one of the very few production guitars that comes close to meeting what Dr. Groovy wants when he designs his own guitars. Because I've taken well into account the white Iceman-like guitar and the purple Dean Cadillac-based Barney guitar, and the guitars he designs himself. I'm going to start doing this someday, designing my own shit. Or when Scott Grove dies, because he's always talking about how he's going to die, I'm going to try to make affordable guitars using his specifications and try to sell them to somebody. So this guitar, one switch per pickup. You can dispense with the tone knob. I mean, okay, every guitar has a tone knob and fuck. So we get the tone knob out of that. It just takes away shit anyway. Volume knob, I would still keep that, but you know, the Morley volume pedal could also make that unnecessary. Well, I think the headstock's the only problem with the well, whatever kind of normal nut this is, and the strings going each way. Of course, what you pretty much need to have, very few guitars come with it. So 6 on the side, no neck angle, no string trees, Spätzle or Spurzell, Spätzle I think is German, right? Height compensated tuners that go deeper and deeper to create the downward tension the higher the strings get. It tends to be only high-end guitars or custom guitars that come with those things, but it's one thing I plan to change. Now, so the headstock's one point we can improve on here. The other is quite obviously the jack going into the plastic pickguard, which is bad on any guitar because it can very easily get ripped right out when you trip over. In this case, it would take a chunk of the whole pickguard and all the electronics within it, and then the party would really be over. Whoo! Man, would that suck, even if you put it back here. So what we learned is, from other Dr. Groovy videos, is the jack, the output jack, should be in here, going up at an angle, so it goes right through to your strap. I mean, the ones here are okay, but I mean, coming out here at an angle like that, right behind your strap, that would be perfect. I think Dr. Groovy might be the only person who actually had those roller things so you can do bends behind the nut and it always stays in tune, like he does pedal steel. I don't know. It's probably not for everybody, but it's certainly cool. And it roller nut smooth bridge. I don't know if you need to put a roller saddles on this, but a roller nut, even if you don't, for non-whammy guitars, even non-whammy is already a fixed bridge is already designed benefit. And this brings us to the last part of Dumb Motherfucker Theater, where I talk about how to fix this. What I learned from Dr. Groovy, who of course avoids buying used shit that has parts swapped out, except for that one really cool Steinberger with the fucking Steinberger spear with lace sensors. I envy you, man. Fuck, you got all the cool shit. Anyway, so it's not in top condition, all that shit, and you know, that didn't come with the original pickup. The guy who bought it off eBay, about $250 with a case. Now, the only cure for this I learned from Scott Grove, very important, is you get a real one that's in much better condition. And now we see how the pole pieces are arranged like a Strats, and how that's how it's supposed to be. So what you do is, just like Dr. Groovy, you buy lots of the same guitars so you can have a good backup, and you buy cool ones, and then you acquire gas, the guitar acquisition syndrome, and then, well, you know, I'm a 5-figure guy. I'm not a 7-figure guy, but I'm working on it, you know, so sounds good, doesn't it? Anyway, before I show off how shitty I play, I'm going to end it here and say that we probably got the ideal pickup configuration. No, not here. Here. The ideal pickup configuration for a single coil guys like me and Scott. And here's what we do. We transpose this setup to a Breadwinner or Deacon guitar, and we have something cool as fuck. And that's a project for the future. And then if we want to make it everything absolute perfect, we make a custom thing with Dave Anderson, Breadwinner Viper 3 layout, 6 on the side, headstock, Sperzo height compensated tuners, and have the whole thing made out of graphite. Then you got a perfect guitar. Bye-bye now.